Hi. Well, thank you for your time. I know I'm like the last person with you, and I am very flattered to have you for a few minutes. But first, let me congratulate you on your premiere at Tribeca.
Oh
Thank
yeah, it was
you.
so
How
much
cool is that?
fun. It was the first time in front of a like an audience, that not
Yeah.
and not a biased audience because the others were
Yeah.
parents or crew, but that was so cool, wasn't it?
Yeah, hearing all the reactions.
Yeah.
Because American audiences
Vocal,
are
right?
really
Support.
vocal.
Yeah,
They're very
yeah.
supportive.
We could hear and feel the reaction in the room, and it was like almost like being in the theater. So that was really joyous, and I can't wait for everyone to see it now.
I'm loving it. I'm enjoying all the episodes I've gotten to watch. I watched four, so I'm almost done. I can't wait. But
Cool.
tell me about getting to play these women that stand by their ideas, regardless of right or wrong, and that we're so ahead of their time.
Yeah, you absolutely hit the nail on the head there. They stand by their decisions, and it's it's interesting how like the sisters are so different, and that in and of itself makes for an incredible drama. But actually, the thing they have in common is that once they have set themselves on a path, they're going to follow that path. And so for Diana, it's sort of her love for Oswald Mosley and the path that takes her down, and Unity, it's a different path, and Jessica a different one. But
Yeah.
they're all like, as you say, it's just they're so strong-minded, which is remarkable considering they didn't have a formal education. They grew up in almost complete isolation. Fav didn't want them to have any friends round, so they just had each other. And that's why I think it's such a fascinating story. It's sort of a question of how did they end up where they ended up? And I just love that we got to explore that.
Yeah, I would also add, I think that was their downfall, and then obviously was
Oh,
their
interesting.
downfall because when you're that headstrong and that strong-willed and that opinionated, I think you can tend to have tunnel vision, and you actually don't look at the bigger picture, and you don't go, hold on, is the path that I've chosen actually correct?
Yeah.
Or, I think that's a real question that it poses, if I'm being honest.
You're incapable as well of hearing other people's opinions or even having like the discussion in the first place if you are so like tunnel visioned and headstrong and in
we're
that
all
way.
trying to sort of prove something to each other.
Yeah.
And
One up each other.
Yeah.
Completely.
Now, tell me how you prepared to play these real life personalities.
We had a lot of research, and it's incredible how much there is out there about them. I mean, there are people apparently that study the Mitfords for degrees. So, there's an incredible wealth of knowledge out there. We were very lucky with the people involved in this project that were just so supportive and completely had our backs. No question was silly. I mean, we had Sarah
who wrote the show,
and
Mary Lovell, upon whose book it is based, came to the read through, and she was incredibly present, and she actually gave me the letters that she had exchanged with Diana, and so some of that isn't even in the book. And so I feel like there are some people out there who are huge fans, the Mitfordians. They might feel like they know everything there is to know, but actually we're going to give you this brand new insight, this really intimate insight, because we got access to stuff that isn't public knowledge. And that felt like a real privilege.
Yeah, it did, definitely.
So does that mean you didn't go based on reading, preparing through the book too? You just created it your own based on the information and archives you received?
No.
Oh, we read it.
We read the book.
We read
Yeah,
everything,
we read
and we would come into set, and we would all get excited about like the little stories
And
between
facts
the
that
sisters.
we found,
and like kind of weird, quirky anecdotes.
Yeah, but
I loved it.
the research was never ending for us. Even when we were on set, there was so much material that like you could just keep reading book after book after book on them.
Well, going back to how these women like would stand their ground, there was also like a little bit of conflict in the relationships being tested based on their beliefs, not to mention with the character of Diana with Nancy.
Yeah, absolutely. I feel like that's kind of um the key relationship breakdown in season one is Nancy watching her sister being changed by her politics and being changed by her relationship with Oswald Mosley. And I kind of hope that's what like audiences take away from watching this is keep having those conversations. They may be difficult conversations to have, but don't let that person slip away from you, because it that's the path to extremism. But yeah, it was sort of heartbreaking to film, but also like a gift of a part for an actor. I mean, to get to have a couple of big bust ups with Becky Carter, you think, oh, it's the dream come true, because you just spark off each other, and there's so much trust and empathy and support, and we're sort of grabbing at each other and pushing each other, and if you didn't get on as actors, that scene would just be a nightmare to film,
and not like
and actually not as believable.
Yeah.
And to wrap up, tell me about stepping into this era and the wardrobe that looked so majestic, the locations.
Yeah, the wardrobe. I mean, Claire Collins, big up Claire Collins and Esther.
Yeah.
The most incredible dream team you could ask for. But yeah, we had such a source of kind of clothing we went to, and we were so lucky to actually have input. And Claire gave us that opportunity, which I think is extremely rare. But there are so many things that maybe people notice, maybe not, but it was more for us, I think, that quite a lot of clothes I share, definitely not with Diana,
not with me.
but with Unity and with Debo, and their personal touches, like their father's jumpers, and they're covered in holes because they don't have much money, and and there were little personal touches like that, which I think was so special for us, and which created that family bond almost from the get-go.
Yeah, the colours as well of the stuff that we wear at the beginning all sort of meshes into the house. We sort of blend into the house, and like for Unity anyway, when she chops off her hair and she decides that she's gonna be a part of the Union of Fascists, she wears that black shirt to depart from that sharing of clothes and to sort of like create her own identity. So costume was very important for each of our characters.
Well, thank you so much for your time, and congratulations. I can't wait to wrap up with the last 2 episodes.
Thank
you
so
so
much.
much.
Thank
you so much.
Bye.
Bye.